myself to the screen. Okay, young. Myself to the screen. Okay. Okay, young. Let me remove myself from the screen. Okay. Let me remove myself from the screen. Okay. All right. All right. I'm back. Okay. All right. All right. I'm back. Okay, young. I know you can hear me now. I was trying to get it situated. So let me put my case back on my phone so I can we're gonna wait for a few more people and I'm gonna play what the government is talking about. I have not watched this yet. So I'm gonna be listening and learning while y'all are doing it too. Okay, young, we're gonna put our thinking cap on today and we're gonna listen and see what the government gotta say about this situation. It's in the House of the Representative now. So it's something to this thing. And we gotta be aware of what's going on around us. We gotta be aware because everybody is talking about it, but it's some truth to this because it's in the House now. The House is doing a hearing on the unidentified things, the UFOs and things like that. So they no longer can hide this from us anymore. When they no longer can hide it from us no more. So we're gonna listen and see what the House got to say. Um, and we're gonna start in a few minutes. Young, few minutes. I'm gonna drop this. Give me 1 second, and then we're gonna go ahead and start playing the videos. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start. I'm about to go ahead and do it. This is about the whistleblower.
And when he showed us the photo that he'd taken, I asked why the video wasn't engaged, why we didn't have a FLIR system that worked. Here's what he said. They were out on a test mission that day over the Gulf of Mexico. And when you're on a test mission, you're supposed to have clear airspace. Not supposed to be anything that shows up. And they saw a sequence of 4 craft formation for which there is a radar sequence that I alone have observed in the United States Congress. One of the pilots goes to check out that diamond formation and sees a large floating, what I can only describe as an orb. Again, like I said, not of any human capability that I'm aware of. And when he approached, he said that his radar went down. He said that his FLIR system malfunctioned and that he had to manually take this image from one of the lenses, and it was not automated in collection as you would typically see in a test mission. So I guess I'll start with Commander Fravor. How should we think about the fact that this craft that was approached by our pilot had the capability of disarming a number of the sensor and collection systems on that craft?
Well, I think this goes to that national security side. You can go back through history of things showing up at certain areas and disabling our capabilities, which is disheartening. And for us, I mean, like I said, it completely disabled the radar on the aircraft when it tried to do it. And the only way we could see it is passively, which is how he got that image. So I think that's a concern on what are these doing, not only how do they operate, but their capabilities inside to do things like this.
And how should we think about 4 craft moving in a very clear formation?
Yeah, we got to pay attention to what's going on. This is the House. This is where everything goes on at. This is where everything happens at. We actually really have UFOs and aliens on our planet.
Equidistant from one another, in a diamond. In all of the phenomenon, perhaps, Mr. Grave, that you've analyzed, have we ever seen multiple craft in a single formation?
I have one particular case, and that was during the gimbal incident. The recording on the AT FLIR system shows a single object that rotates. You hear the pilots refer to a fleet of objects that is not visible on the FLIR system. And that was something that I witnessed during the debrief as part of the radar data on the situational awareness page. I would like to add, however, Congressman, there's a small bit of anger, I would say. I would feel that those pilots are still facing that difficulty in reporting this topic, and they don't have the tools to be able to mitigate this issue. It just goes to show how serious this is and why this is such an important issue for our pilots and for our nation.
It was stated explicitly to me by these test pilots that if you have a UAP experience, the best thing you can do for your career is forget it and not tell anyone. Because any type of reporting, either above the surface or below the surface, does have a perceived consequence to these people. And that is a culture we must change if we want to get to the truth. Mr. Chairman, I would observe that perhaps as we move forward from this hearing, there are some obvious next steps. Every person watching this knows that we need to meet with Mr. Grush in a secure, compartmentalized facility so that we can get fulsome answers that do not put him in jeopardy and that give us the information we need. Second, I would suggest that the radar images from that were collected of this formation of craft.
He said that if the pilots see the UFOs or the aliens, he said that they need to forget about seeing it. Don't talk about it.
Out of Eglin Air Force Base, and specifically the actual image taken by the actual flight crew that we can actually validate, be provided to the committee, subpoenaed if necessary, so that we're able to track how to get this type of reporting and analysis done in a more fulsome way. That would be my recommendation, humbly, as a guest here of the Fine Oversight Committee. I yield back.
Ms. Mace.
Wozniak, Elon Musk, other tech leaders recently wrote in an open letter that AI developers are, quote, locked in an...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to our witnesses who are testifying today. I want to thank each of you for being here to discuss a topic of grave importance to our national security. Earlier this year, a Chinese spy balloon was shot down off the coast of my home state of South Carolina. Since the Roswell incident in 1947, many Americans have wondered about the dangers of unknown objects crisscrossing our skies, whether these are UAPs or weather phenomena, advanced technology from American, allied, or enemy forces, or something more out of this world. So my first question, I have several questions, and if we can just be quick on these first two, I'm going to ask each of you the same question, and then I'll get to each of you individually. The first one, when you reported your experiences with a UAP, did any of you face any repercussions with your superiors, yes or no?
No.
So y'all hear that? She said, when you had the sightings of the whatever, the UFOs, the aliens, did you report it to your superiors? And they said no. Y'all, they is here. They is here. We got aliens here.
No. I've actually never seen anything personally, believe it or not. So.
All right. And then do you believe there's an active disinformation campaign within our government to deny existence of UAPs? Yes or no?
I don't have an answer to that.
As previously stated publicly, yes. I think previously with like Project Blue Book, yes, but currently I don't speak for the United States government.
Okay, thank you. I have a few questions for Mr. Graves. What percentage of UAP sightings in your belief go unreported by our pilots?
This is an approximation based off of my personal experience speaking with a number of pilots, but I would estimate we're somewhere near 5% reporting perhaps.
So like 95% basically don't report seeing UAPs.
That's just my personal.
Yeah, 95% of the craft, the people that's out there is not reporting the UFOs. They just pushing it off, pushing it up under the rug, y'all. So these aliens is coming on Earth now, and actually the real civilians is seeing it.
Personal estimate.
In the incident off Virginia Beach, do you believe the Navy took the danger to your aircraft seriously after it was reported?
Absolutely.
A few questions for Mr. Favor. As an expert naval aviator, have you ever seen an object that looked and moved like the Tic Tac UAP?
No.
Did the Tic Tac UAP move in such a way that defied the laws of physics?
The way we understand them, yes.
Many dismiss UAP reports as classified weapons testing by our own government, but in your experience as a pilot, does our government typically test advanced weapon systems right next to multi-million-dollar jets without informing our pilots?
No, we have test ranges for that.
Okay, so she asking, is it just the Army testing weapons and stuff like that, and whatever? And he said no, they don't do that. So what's the excuse? It's these UFOs and these aliens, y'all. This is the house. This is where they make all the rulings of everything. So it's not the Army. It's not none of that stuff.
It took over 15 years for your encounter with the Tic Tac to be declassified. Do you feel there was a good reason to prevent lawmakers from having access to this footage?
No, I just think it was ignored when it happened, and it just sat somewhere in a file. Never got reported.
In a drawer. It happens a lot up here. Shocker. Mr. Gresh, a couple of questions for you too, sir, this morning. What percentage of UAPs do you feel are adequately investigated by the U.S. government, of the 5% that are reported?
I can only speak for my personal leadership over at NGA. I tried to look at every report that came through that I could triage. So,
do you believe that officials at the highest levels of our national security apparatus have unlawfully withheld information from Congress and subverted our oversight authority?
there are certain elected leaders that had more information that I'm not sure what they've shared with certain Gang of Eight members or et cetera, but certainly I would not be surprised.
Okay. You've stated that the government is
Y'all, they is ignoring. Hey, Mel, welcome, baby. Listen, they is annoying when these people send this stuff to the Congress, to the government. They are annoying the reports that people is sending. They are annoying it, y'all.
possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay. She just asked him, listen.
Do you believe that if
This is called a snap indenture or an overdenture. This is on the upper jaw, and I can just...
Don't go outside at nighttime.
officials at the highest levels of our national security apparatus have unlawfully withheld information from Congress and subverted our oversight authority?
There are certain elected leaders that had more information that I'm not sure what they've shared with certain Gang of Eight members or et cetera, but certainly I would not be surprised.
Okay. You've stated that the government is in possession of potentially non-human spacecraft. Based on your experience and extensive conversations with experts, do you believe our government has made contact with intelligent extraterrestrials?
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries. Yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still in the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. So, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered? Whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there.
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super. Thank you. And I yield back.
This is what we in amongst y'all.
Okay, now we have
Damn
Mr.
aliens.
Langworthy's here.
Yes, it's crazy, Mel.
Okay.
Thank you very much. I'd like to thank all of the witnesses for being here today to discuss this very unique topic. And I'd like to jump right into my questions, if you don't mind. Commander Fravor, can you briefly describe your background?
Yeah, I was an enlisted Marine, Naval Academy graduate, Navy, flew for 18 years, got a master's from University of Houston, and I've worked in the private sector for the last, 16 years, 17 years. I do a lot of defense work. So
Really gold-plated credentials. Commander Fravor, we have all seen the floating Tic Tac video that you engaged with on November 14th, 2004. Can you briefly talk about why you were off the coast of San Diego that day?
yeah, we were at a workup with all the battle groups. So we integrate the ships with the carrier, the air wing with the carrier, and we start working. So we were doing an air-to-air defense to hone not only our skills, but those of the USS Princeton when they had been tracking them for 2 weeks. The problem was that there was never manned aircraft airborne when they were tracking them. And this was the first day. And unfortunately, we were the ones airborne and went and saw it.
Do you remember the weather that day? Was it cloudy or windy or anything?
They have been tracking the UFOs for 2 weeks, y'all.
Out of the ordinary on the Pacific coast?
It was actually, if you're familiar with San Diego, it was a perfect day. Light winds, no whitecaps, clear skies, not a cloud. It was, for flying, it was the best.
Now, is it true that you saw, in your words, a 40-foot flying Tic-Tac shaped object?
That's correct. Or for some people that can't know what a Tic Tac is, it's a giant flying propane tank.
Fair enough. Did this object come up on radar or interfere with your radar or the USS Princeton?
The Princeton tracked it, the Nimitz tracked it, the E-2 tracked it. We never saw it on our radars. Our fire control radars never picked it up. The other airplane that took the video did get it on a radar. As soon as it tried to lock it, it jammed the radar, spit the lock, and he rapidly switched over to the targeting pod, which you can do in the F-18.
Listen, the Army equipment, okay, Marissa, the Army equipment is not even picking up these UFOs, y'all. When I tell y'all it's time to pray, it is time to pray. You hear me? It's time to pray.
From what you saw that day and what you've seen on video, did you see any source of propulsion from the flying object, including on any potential thermal scans from your aircraft?
No, there's none. There's no IR plume coming out. And Chad, who took the video, went through all the EO, which is black and white TV, and the IR modes, and there's no visible signs of propulsion. It's just sitting in space at 20,000 feet.
The damn UFO, y'all, have been sitting in the sky, just sitting there. God.
In your career, have you ever seen a propulsion system that creates no thermal exhaust?
No.
Can you describe how the aircraft maneuvered?
Abruptly, very determinate. It knew exactly what it was doing. It was aware of our presence, and it had acceleration rates. I mean, it went from 0 to matching our speed in no time at all.
Yeah, please listen to this man. He said that it was aware that they was watching them, and they said the speed went from 0 to matching their speed within a second. Now, this is not the people in the backyards that's reporting UFOs and the people that get on their drinks and they popping their pills. This is the house. This is the house that's talking about this, y'all. So we can't say these people crazy. They don't know nothing. We can't say that.
Or if the fastest plane on Earth was trying to do these maneuvers that you saw, would it be capable of doing that?
No, not even close.
Dang. He said the fastest plane on Earth cannot match the speed of the UFOs. What are we living amongst, y'all? What?
And just to confirm, this object had no wings, correct?
No wings.
Now,
It
was
is
the
not a baby.
aircraft that you were flying, was it armed?
No, never felt threatened at all.
If the aircraft was armed, do you believe that your aircraft or any aircraft in possession of the United States could have shot the Tic Tac down?
I'd say no, just on the performance, it would just left in a split second.
Okay. The damn Tic Tac is the floating thing, the aliens or whatever. He just admitted, this man admitted in the house that they don't have more power than them aliens. He asked them, would he be able to shoot that thing down? He said no, he didn't think about it because the way they got too much speed and the way they was performing. Y'all, what the hell? I'm gonna keep cussing because they've been hiding this from us for so many years and years and years. Now they done took this to the Congress. The UFO hearings is in the Congress House, y'all. It's called the U.S. Hidden Evidence of the UFOs claim. The whistleblower. The whistleblower is somebody have been exposed this stuff.
It looks like that we have a problem here that needs further investigation.
Yes.
In your belief, is this flying Tic Tac? I mean, is it capable of being the product of any other nation on the earth?
No, like I said earlier, I think it defies current material science and the ability to develop that much propulsion. And I know there's been some physicists of them calculations, which is beyond anything that we have.
Well, either the United States has an adversary here in this world that we don't know, or we really have some serious investigations to do. I really appreciate you being here. Is there anything else about the November 14th, 2004 incident that you think is important for this committee to know that you haven't been asked here today?
No, it's been said it's probably the most credible UFO sighting in history based on all the sensors that were tracking it. And then for us to get visual and to go against the naysayers that it's something on the screen or whatever. I mean, there's 4 sets of human eyeballs. We're all very credible. Of the 6 of us that were involved in the thing, including the video, every one of us is going to do 20 plus years in the military in very responsible positions. So I'd say the world needs to know that. It's not a joke.
No, thank you very much.
He said it's not a joke. He said it's not a joke. The man that's sitting at the desk in the Congress, in the House, he said that this is not a joke. That's right, Marissa. This is not a joke. The only thing that this man said that they aircraft and they credentials and all of the stuff that they got is not powerful than this. The only thing that I know that's powerful than these aliens, and that is God. Y'all, this is a setup. If you don't have a prayer life and if you don't know Jesus, today is the day. This right here that we watching was a day ago. It was 2 days ago. I promise you, that man just now said that the Army aircraft and the materials that the Army have, because you know the Army is the one that fight the wars and stuff like that, and they supposed to be the strongest thing on earth. But he just now sit there and said that they can't do nothing with the UFOs. They strong. They powerful. The only thing that can beat that is God. And that's God exposing this stuff to let y'all know that man just now told y'all that his equipment that's supposed to protect the world when they push the red button don't have that much power than these aliens, than these UFOs. Y'all don't listen to me.
Much for your testimony here today for all of you, and I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. August.
Jesus, Lord.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you all for being here and the courage it took to come forward and again, the sacrifice that each of you have made. I serve on the National Security Subcommittee for the Financial Services Committee, so I really want to stay in the national security lane, if I may. So when we think about traditional adversaries and both us towards them and them towards us. You know, we probe their capabilities. We look for weaknesses, and we collect that data, that reconnaissance for in the event we need it in the future. For each of you, yes or no question, based off of your own experience or the data that you've been privy to, is there any indication that these UAPs could be essentially collecting reconnaissance information? Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Mr. Grush?
Fair assessment, yeah.
Mr. Fravor?
Very possible.
Again, in the national security vein, is it possible that these UAPs would be probing our capabilities? Yes or no, Mr. Graves?
Yes.
Rush?
Yes.
Fravor?
They just now said that they think that the UFOs are collecting our data, our information, the secrets and things like that. Y'all, we got to think about this, because we got to think about, like, it's so many missing people that have not been found. Do you think they starting their own country, their own land? I'm just saying, I'm speculating now. But these people scared. This is the house. This is the lieutenants and things like this that's in the army that's sitting down at that table. This is not a joke. That man said that. That girl said, you think Trump is a damn alien? Probably the leader.
Definitely.
Is it possible that these UAPs are testing for vulnerabilities in our current systems?
Yes.
Yes.
You heard him.
Do you feel, based off of your experience and the information that you've been privy to, that these UAPs provide an existential threat to the national security of the United States? Mr. Graves?
Potentially.
Yes, sir, potentially.
Same answer, potentially.
Oh my God. He said, do y'all think that the damn aliens hold a threat towards the United States? Them three professional men that have been on their jobs 20 years to protect the country just said yes, that the damn aliens is a threat. She said, yes, my mom had a vision years ago and told us that we aren't the only ones here and on the other and on the other planets. And there are other planets. Good God. Ginger, your mama was right.
Mr. Graves and Fravor, you know, in the event that your encounters had become hostile, would you have had the capability to defend yourself, your crew, your aircraft?
Absolutely not.
Sir?
No.
Is based off of the information that you've been privy
no.
to, is there any indication that these UAPs are interested in our nuclear technology and capabilities?
Yes.
By external observation, sure, that could be a fair assessment, yeah.
Yes.
So they saying that the aliens is interested in our nuclear war equipment. That's even effed up more than anything. Because what they going to do with it? Is they get ready to take over, like somebody said up here, Marissa? Because what they going to do with our nuclear stuff? Go head on, aliens. We need to get some shirts made. Go on back home, aliens.
Is there any indication that the Department of Energy is involved in UAP data collection and housing?
I don't have an answer.
I can't confirm or deny that in a public setting.
And could you do it in a secure setting?
Yes.
Mr. Fravor?
No, I don't know.
Mr. Chairman, you know, I think I'm the last member to go, but there clearly is a threat to the national security of the United States of America. As members of Congress, we have a responsibility to maintain oversight and be aware of these activities so that, if appropriate, we take action. I would encourage the chairman to demand that we have any and all, but in particular Mr. Grush, talk to us in a skiff. And if that access is denied, I will personally volunteer to initiate the Holman Rule against any personnel or any program or any agency that denies access to Congress. Mr. Chairman, with that, I will yield the remainder of my time to my fellow colleague from Tennessee, Mr. Burchett.
Jesus, y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Ogles, for the great questions, brother. Mr. Grush, I might have asked this before, but I want to make sure. Do you have any personal knowledge of someone who's possibly been injured working on legacy UAP reverse engineering?
Yes.
Okay. How were they injured? Was it?
Are you sick of having issues with your
This is a
webinars,
daggone
wasting
mess.
tons of time
You
on
hear me?
troubleshooting with attendees?
Is it something like a radioactive type situation or something we didn't understand? I've heard people talk about Havana syndrome type incidences. What was your recollection of that?
I can't get into specifics, but you can imagine assessing an unknown unknown. There's a lot of potentialities you can't fully prepare for.
How do you think we ought to handle UAP whistleblower complaints like yours in the future?
Yeah, there was some issue with mine. So, PPD 19 process, it goes to the Intel committees, either through PPD 19 or ICD 120. There's not a good way for the Intelligence Community Inspector General to provide that to other committees. And I asked my information to be sent to the House and Senate Armed Services Committee because they're
So y'all, all three of these are the whistleblowers. These are the ones that's coming forth with the knowledge of these UFOs, and they couldn't hold it no longer. The Congress had to talk about this because the whistleblowers was talking about it.
are Title 10 equities at play, but there was no smooth process to do so. Yeah.
That's a trash can. Are you aware of any individuals that are participating in reverse engineering programs for non-terrestrial craft?
Personally, yes.
Wait, we're gonna
you know any that would be
because I don't like his questions. He's not
Retrograde
being
orbits or J-hooks. Sometimes these reports are reoccurring, with numerous recent sightings north of Hawaii and in the North Atlantic. Other veterans are also coming forward to us regarding UAP encounters in our airspace and oceans. The most compelling involve observations of UAP by multiple witnesses and sensor systems. I believe these accounts are only scratching the surface, and more will share their experiences once it is safe to do so. In closing, I recognize the skepticism surrounding this topic. If everyone could see the sensor and video data I witnessed, our national conversation would change. I urge us to put aside stigma and address the security and safety issue this topic represents. If UAP are foreign drones, it is an urgent national security problem. If it is something else, it is an issue for science. In either case, unidentified objects are concerned for flight safety. The American people deserve to know what is happening in our skies. It is long overdue.
Y'all hear that? That the American people, it has a right to know what's in our skies because of the airplanes that have to fly in the sky. Y'all hear that? That's what he said. He said that. He said that the American people has a right to know what's in our skies because they have to fly. They trying to hide all of this from us. When we get on airplanes, we need to know this stuff. We need to know.
Thank you.
Mr. Rush.
Mr. Chairman, ranking members and congressmen, thank you. I'm happy to be here. This is an important issue, and I'm grateful for your time. My name is David Charles Grush. I was an intelligence officer for 14 years, both in the U.S. Air Force, both active duty, Air National Guard, and Reserve, at the rank of major, and most recently from 2021 to 2025, or excuse me, 2023, at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, NGA, at the GS-15 civilian level, which is the military equivalent of a full bird colonel. I was my agency's co-lead in unidentified anomalous phenomena and transmedium object analysis, as well as reporting to the UAP task force, UAPTF, and eventually, once it was established.
Lincoln says she don't fly. I don't either. But it's not because of the UFOs. It's because of my fear of flying. I got to be able to get over that fear. And it's a fear of heights. It's really not as much as flying. Mel says, she said, I do Lincoln all the time. That is great, but you need to know what's in your skies. They have held this from us for so daggone long. You know what I'm saying? I wish I was a person that wasn't scared to fly. My children have flew before me, all 3 of them. And I still didn't get a chance to do it because of the heights. But now this right here, this don't help me at all. This done push me back. I was almost at the edge of getting ready to fly. A lot of our movies tell real stories. Exactly. Exactly. They sure do, Mel. Young said, I don't mind flying with 0 fear. That's good. I'm glad that you like that, but I have a fear of heights. That's something that I got to get over. But what he was saying was the American people have a right to know what's in the sky. We supposed to know. Like, tell me it's some damn UFOs up there that's faster than the American equipment. It's faster than American equipment. The man said the thing went from 0 to I don't know what in seconds. In seconds. He said they basically couldn't do nothing with it. Vaughn said, I work from an airline, but I work from home, so I fly all the time. I got over my fears once I started working for the company. See, I might need a company. Send me an application, man. Send me an application because I need to get in the sky. LTWL is more dangerous on the ground. And I have heard that from several people, Ginger, so that really makes sense. Let's talk with love. I am scared of certain heights, but by myself. Yeah, that's my problem. I'm just scared of heights. I don't think it's the airplane itself. But listen, let's just play the video, y'all, because
established the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office.
yeah, I need to get over. Me too, Lincoln.
I became a whistleblower through a PPD 19 urgent concern filing in May 2022 with the Intelligence Community Inspector General. Following concerning reports from multiple esteemed and credentialed current and former military and intelligence community individuals that the U.S. government is operating with secrecy above congressional oversight with regards to UAPs.
Okay, you
My
heard
testimony is based on information I've been given by individuals with a long-standing track record of legitimacy and service to this country. Many of whom also have shared compelling evidence in the form of photography, official documentation, and classified oral testimony to myself and my various colleagues. I have.
Wait a minute, he basically said he became a whistleblower because nobody else wasn't going to tell. And let me just tell. That's basically what he became a whistleblower for.
Every step I can to corroborate this evidence over a period of 4 years while I was with the UAP task force and do my due diligence on the individual sharing it. This is because of these steps, I believe strongly in the importance of bringing this information before you. I am driven by a commitment of both to truth and transparency, rooted in our inherent duty to uphold the United States Constitution and protect the American people.
You hear that?
I'm asking Congress to hold our government to this standard and thoroughly investigate these.
To protect the people. This man cares about us, y'all. He said he holding Congress, he holding them a standard to let us know. That's what he doing. So when they be on their little YouTube channels, they be talking about the UFOs, that right there don't get our attention. But sitting at this table with the Congress, this should be able to get our attention. He said he's trying to, for the safety for the American people. Everybody on this chat, we are the American people. Sometimes we be looking at videos and stuff that just been made by a regular person. It don't get our attention. But it had to go to this table right here to get our attention. I am woke. You hear me? The country's seeing things over here too. See? But this is the table. Oh, God.
Claims. But as I stand here under oath now, I am speaking to the facts as I've been told them. In the U.S. Air Force, in my National Reconnaissance Office, NRO, reservist capacity, I was a member of the UAP Task Force from 2019 to 2021. I served at the NRO Operations Center on the Director's Briefing staff, which included the coordination of the Presidential Daily Brief and supporting variety of contingency operations, which I was the Reserve Intelligence Division Chief backup. In 2019, the UAP Task Force Director asked me to identify all special access programs and controlled access programs, also known as SAPs and CAPs, we needed to satisfy our congressionally mandated mission, and we were direct report at the time to the DefSecDef. At the time, due to my extensive executive level intelligence support duties, I was cleared to literally all relevant compartments and in a position of extreme trust, both in my military and civilian capacities. I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it.
They didn't want him to have
I
it.
made the decision based on the data I collected to report this information to my superiors and multiple inspectors general,
And what they
and in
did.
effect becoming a whistleblower. As you know, I've suffered retaliation for my decision, but I am hopeful that my actions will ultimately lead to a positive outcome of increased transparency. Thank you, and I'm happy to answer your questions.
So he done suffer some stuff because he had that table. That's why he became the whistleblower. Nobody wanted to listen to him when he was telling people, like, look, this is what's happening. This is what I've seen. These are the reports that I got. I done seen them myself. And these people have did some things to him. So that's why they brought the whistleblowers here. We got to keep our eye on these people because we got to make sure that they don't disappear. Y'all, I'm scared to do this interview. I'm scared. Lincoln said the other countries send things over here too. Mel said very woke. Yes, baby, stay woke. Lincoln said they can't hide that no more. No, they can't, because them whistleblowers ain't playing with them. Listen, people, aliens don't come over here messing with me because I'm just reporting what I see. That's it.
Thank you. Commander Fravor.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Congressman, Congresswoman. I want to first thank you for the invitation to speak to the committee on the UAP topic that's been in the news for the
They look nervous, y'all. They look nervous.
past 6 years and seems to be continuing to gain momentum. As you know, my name is David Fravor. I'm a retired commander in the United States Navy. In 2004, I was a commanding officer of Strike Fighter Squadron 41, the world famous Black Aces. We were attached to Carrier 11 stationed on board the USS Nimitz and had begun a 2-month workup cycle off the coast of California. On this day, we were scheduled for a 2v2 air-to-air training with the USS Princeton as our control. When we launched off Nimitz, my wingman was joining up. We were told that the training was going to be suspended and we're going to proceed with real-world tasking. As we proceeded to the west, the air controller was counting down the range to an object that we were going to, and we were unaware of what we were going to see when we arrived. The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. We arrived at the location at approximately 20,000 feet, and the controller called merge plot, which means that our radar blip was now in the same resolution cell as the contact. As we looked around, we noticed that we saw some whitewater off our right side. It's important to note that the weather on this day was as close to perfect as you could ask for off the coast of San Diego. Clear skies, light winds, calm seas, no white caps from waves. So the whitewater stood out in a large blue ocean. All four.
If you make less than $50,000 per year, then this message is for you. Congress just passed a free 1.9.
He said that damn object was hanging out 80,000 feet. It would relax a little bit, and then it would come down, relax. Ginger said they already here. They is here, baby. They here now. We have laughed and joked about this for years, centuries, and the things is here. Little aliens go head on. Lincoln said, yes, Ginger, they might as well tell. That's it. Let's see what he's saying.
Us, because we were an F-18F, so we had pilots and Wizzo in the back seat. Looked down a small, saw a white tic-tac object with a longitudinal axis pointing north-south and moving very abruptly over the water like a ping pong ball. There were no rotors, no rotor wash, or any sign of visible control surfaces like wings. As we started clockwise towards the object, my Wizzo and I decided to go down and take a closer look at the other aircraft staying in high cover to observe both us and the tic-tac. We proceeded around the circle about 90 degrees from the start of our descent, and the object suddenly shifted its longitudinal axis, aligned it with my aircraft, and began to climb. We continued down another 270 degrees, nose low, where the Tic Tac, or we consumed 270 degrees to where, and we went nose low to where the Tic Tac would have been. Our altitude at this point was about 15,000 feet, and the Tic Tac was about 12,000. As we pulled nose onto the object, within about a half mile of it, it rapidly accelerated in front of us and disappeared. Our wingman, roughly 8.
It disappeared. It disappeared. It was ping pong, and ping pong means it's going backwards and forward over the water. Over the water. The water, y'all. We got ships and stuff out there. And the aircraft from the United States Marines, Army, all of that stuff cannot keep up with this thing. They said they wanted to get a closer look. Y'all, they went down there to get a closer look, and the damn thing then disappeared. Listen, we need to find out what the aliens eat. So if they come, we can have them some food prepared so they won't get us. We have no protection against those things. That's what he said, Lincoln, in the beginning of the video, that they don't feel like that we can do nothing with them. Ginger said, Lincoln, only God. I told him that. That's it. But versus smoking cigarettes back to back. Lincoln said, yeah, Ginger. Mel said, we shall, honey. Y'all see that? The damn army people can't do nothing with it.
8,000 feet above us, lost contact also.
It went 8,000 feet above them and they lost contact. You is the army. You is the National Guard, the Marines. You somebody. You done lost the thing.
He turned back to see where the whitewater was at, and it was gone also.
He turned around, y'all, and the damn thing was gone. They can't do nothing with it. I promise y'all, if y'all don't have no relationship with God, if you ain't don't wait till tomorrow to give your life to God. God gonna clean you up. He gonna do it because tomorrow not promised. Y'all, they telling this thing. That damn Lincoln asked Marissa for a damn cigarette. Y'all, I'm laughing because I'm scared. You hear me? Let's go.
So as you started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cap point, roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute. You can count.
It was at his cap. I guess he's talking about the end of his plane or the beginning, but he said it was there less than a minute. It made it to this United States Marines manned aircraft, because it was both of them up there in two different planes. It was there less than a minute. Less than a minute. Look at his face. His hands is shaking, y'all. That damn Marissa done gave Lincoln 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 7 cigarettes. Even the planets worship God. You better talk about it. Thanks, Marissa. Lincoln said, thank you for the cigarettes. She done gave you enough to last until this video is over. Even the Jews worship.
We returned to Nimitz. We were taking off our gear. We were talking to one of my crews that was getting ready to launch. We mentioned it to them, and they went out and luckily got the video that you see, that 90-second video. What you don't see is the radar tape that was never released, and we don't know where it's at, of the active jamming that the.
They don't know what a video, the radar thing. That's when it hit the radar. It disappeared. Where is it? Where is the radar video? Why is it missing? Why? Oh no, they're going to come for me first.
Object put on an APG-73 radar, and I can get into modes later if you're interested. What is shocking to us is that the incident was never investigated. None of my crew were ever questioned. Tapes were never taken.
What's shocking him is that what him and his partner went through up there in them skies, it was never reported. He said that's what was shocking him. Like, I done seen this and that and the third happen, but I'm so shocked that nobody didn't you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody do nothing about this.
And then after a couple of days, it turned into a great story with friends. It wasn't until 2009 till Jay Stratton had contacted me to investigate. Unbeknownst to all, he was part of the ATIP program in the Pentagon led by Lou Elizondo. And there was an official report that came out that's now on the internet. Years later, I was contacted by the other pilot, Alex Dietrich, and asked if I'd been contacted, and I said no, but I'm.
Big Data Happiness is a female-founded company based right here in Menominee, Wisconsin.
We're going to see what he said.
I'm willing to talk. I was contacted by Mr. Elizondo, and we talked for a short period of time, and he said we'd be in contact. A few weeks after that, I was made aware that Lou had left the Pentagon in protest and joined forces with Tom DeLonge, Chris Mellon, Steve Justice, and others to form Two Stars Academy, an organization that pressed the issue with leading industry experts and U.S. government officials. They worked with Leslie Keene, who is present today, Ralph Blumenthal, and Helene Cooper to publish the articles in the New York Times 2017 New York Times, and it removed the stigma on the topic of UFOs, which is why we're here today. Those articles open the door for the government and public that cannot be closed. It has led to an interest from our elected officials who are not focused on little green men, but figuring out where these craft are, where are they from, the technology they possess, how do they operate. It also led to the Whistleblower Protection Act and the NDAA. There are multiple witnesses coming forward to say that have firsthand knowledge, and Mr. Grush just covered that. What concerns me is that there's no oversight from our elected officials on anything associated with our government processing or working on craft. Believe not from this world. This issue is not a full public disclosure that can undermine national security, but it is about ensuring that our system of checks and balances works across all work done in the government using taxpayer funds. Relative to government programs, even unacknowledged WAVE programs have some level of oversight by the appropriate committee members in the House and Senate. And this work that is said to be occurring from whistleblower testimonies should not be exempt. In closing, I would like to say that the Tic Tac object we engaged in 2004 was far superior to anything that we had on time, have today, or are looking to develop in the next 10 years. If we in fact have programs that possess this technology, it needs to have oversight from those people that the citizens of this great country elected in office to represent what is best for the United States and best for the citizens. I thank you for your time.
Okay, so his experiences was in 2004. So the new experiences that people been seeing, the UFOs, that's what's bringing all of this out, because they keep hiding it. They keep hiding this stuff. So they had to go back to where when they really seen it. The other band that seen the UFO with him in 2004, he began to start an organization about this. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I know it's very difficult for all of you, all you've done in the past to try to illuminate this issue. Call on myself first for some questions. I'm going to start with Mr. Graves. Are pilots that you interact with as part of your organization, do you feel adequately trained and briefed on how to handle encounters with UAPs?
No. Right now, military witnesses to UAP have limited options for reporting UAP, but more.
Yeah, he just now said that he ain't equipped to help to do nothing with them UFOs. So y'all, we on our own, because that's what he basically just said. Are you equipped to help, with these little characters that's in the sky and then the little aliens? He said, no, they're not equipped for none of this. How can you train for something that you don't know about? You can't train for something you don't know about.
More concerning is that commercial aviation sector has not adapted to the lessons that military has implemented. The military and Department of Defense has stated that UAP represent a critical aviation safety risk. We have not seen that same language being used in the commercial markets. They are not acknowledging this risk.
Okay. What steps do you think you have to be taken to improve a pilot's UAP reporting, be it military or commercial?
Right now, we need a system where pilots can report without fear of losing their jobs.
Oh, did y'all hear that? He said he need a system that when I report something, I won't lose my job. So they can't even freely say, hey, boss man, I done seen a little alien up in the sky, him and his little family. They was chilling in the sky for a little while. And because he gonna say, you gotta quit. I'm firing you. You're gonna get fired if you report the unknown. If you report the unknown and have America in a mess like we is right now, you is going to lose your job. We're not concerned about these aliens. We not. They ain't bothering us. We ain't bothering them. We don't know what the aliens is doing, to be honest.
Fear that the stigma associated with this topic is going to lead to professional repercussions, either through management or perhaps through their yearly physical check. So having a secure system, reducing the stigma, and making this information available through the public is going to reduce the concerns that aircrew have.
Could you just give me a little idea of the degree to which reports in the past are not made public right now?
Well, I don't think there has been a proper reporting system to gather those reports and thus not report them. So to answer your question, I think there is a dearth of data due to the fact that the reporting has been limited up to this time.
Could you tell me why you believe it's, kind of to play the devil's advocate, a reason why some of this stuff should not be available to the public?
There's certainly some national security concerns when we use our advanced sensors in our tactical jets to be able to identify these objects. However, there's no reason that the objects themselves would be classified. I would be curious to see how the security classification guideline actually spells out the different nuances of how this topic is classified from the perspective of UAP, not national security.
I'll give you a follow-up on that. Assuming that there are reasons why not all this should be made public, this has been around for a long period.
Did you know that you can get $50 to over $150,000 of investment capital at zero?
We ain't really been listening. Go ahead on now, man.
Period of time. Can any of the three of you think of any reason why anything related to UAPs, say 15 years and back, should not be immediately made public?
I think one of it is acknowledging a vulnerability, both from a collection and I'll just say a countermeasure perspective. So it's
We'll go with
that we haven't cracked for many years. Yeah.
Even say 20 years back. Is there any reason why when you go back that far, things shouldn't be made public?
Unless it shows a specific national security vulnerability as it relates to a weakness in a particular defense system.
Oh, okay, Mr. Fravor, the TikTok incident that you were engaged occurred in 2004. What kind of reporting took place after that incident?
None. We had a standard debrief where the backseaters went down to our carrier intel center and briefed what had happened, and that was it. No one else talked to us, and I was in the top 20 in the battle group. No one came. The captain was aware, the admiral was aware, nothing was done.
Your commanding officers provide any sort of...
Nothing was done. Nothing is being done. They want these people to shut up. They got these 3 whistleblowers up here and they is scared. These people is scared, honey.
Justification?
No, because I was the commanding officer of the squadron, so no.
Was this incident the only UAP event that you encountered while you were a pilot?
Yes, it was.
Okay. This is for any one of you. Based off of each of your experiences and observations, do you believe UAPs pose a potential threat to our national security?
Yes, and here's why. The technology that we faced was far superior than anything that we had, and you could put that anywhere. If you had one, you captured one, you reverse engineered it, you got it to work, you're talking something that can go into space, go someplace, drop down in a matter of seconds, do whatever it wants, and leave, and there's nothing we can do about it. Nothing.
Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? He said it's nothing that we can do with them. Nothing. He said the UFOs can go straight to the moon, come straight back in a matter of seconds. What can they do with that? Nothing. It takes God. That's it. That's the only thing. God is over all of this stuff, y'all. Listen, Lincoln said, I've been listening, LTWA. I know you have, Lincoln. Marissa said, young God created us all. We all knew that we are not the only living beings on the universe. And that's a fact. We all knew it was some other people here. Marissa, that's why when my mom said, yes, exactly right. She said, that's what my mom said too. Y'all, this is scary.
Okay. You two?
Well, I would also like to add, from a commercial aviation and military aviation perspective, we deal with uncertainty in our operating space as a matter of our professional actions. Identifying friend from foe is very important to us. And so when we have unidentified targets and we continue to ignore those due to a stigma or a fear of what it could be, that's an opening that our adversaries can take advantage of.
What steps should be taken to better understand and respond to UAP encounters in the interest of national security?
There needs to be a location where this information is centralized for processing, and there needs to be a two-way communication loop so the operators on the front end have a feedback and can get best practices on how to process information, what to do, and to ensure that their reporting is being listened to. Right now, there is not a lot of back and forth.
Listen, They can't listen. Ain't no need to even keep going on and on and on with this, because it's nothing that they can do. They don't have the training. You can't train about nothing you don't know. You can't teach nobody to destroy something that's never been heard of. You cannot do it. But I do know the word said that every knee shall bow. That's just it. That's just all. That's just it. That's just all. And this right here is a prime example of it, because of we have something that's on this earth that we can't even control. Our military is supposed to be the strongest thing on the earth to protect us. And when you find out today that the military cannot protect you from this unknown UFO thing, it's time to pray. Because we all just found out that the military said that they cannot protect us. They can't protect us from this thing because they can't protect themselves from it. They said the thing is moving like this in a matter of seconds. He said the thing can go to space and come back in seconds. The military has the fastest airplanes in the world, and what they did, and this thing disappeared on them. The name that they given it, I forgot, but it's like a submarine in the sky with no engine, no smoke coming out of it, y'all. It don't have no engines. It don't have no smoke or nothing. They don't even know how this thing is operating in the sky. God dang.
Mr. Grush, in your complaint to the intelligence community inspector general, you claim that you believe information is being hidden. What kind of information do you think was hidden, and do you think it should remain hidden?
Yes, I can speak to that very briefly in unclassified manner. As you know, the preponderance of my complaint was classified to the intelligence communities. Both material acquisition and exploitation activity, also baselining the UAPs, but not sharing it with, intelligence professionals that are actually doing step briefs to pilots, that kind of information. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
They've been hiding it.
What to Mr. Garcia?
Thank you. Again, thank you all for your service and for testifying today. Want to just talk about UAPs as it relates to what we're seeing in pilots' interaction with UAPs. Particularly, Mr. Graves, one of the, I think, concerns that for members of this committee is this idea that pilots, there's no system to actually report UAPs and the stigma around pilots. And so can you just briefly, you mentioned that you're working with 30 pilots right now that have had encounters with UAPs, but you've also, I believe, discussed and know of many more pilots. This is just those that you're currently working with. Is that correct?
Hold on, yeah.
The homeless problem is getting worse. It's
I'm
not
gonna try
getting
to
better.
pull it because we got
Crime is
another
getting
one.
worse.
Let's glance through the other one.
Correct. Can you
If y'all
expand on
wanna-
that?
Listen,
Certainly, yeah.
if y'all want to watch this interview, go to News 18, news18.com. Y'all go to this, screenshot it so y'all can have it. But we got one more that we're gonna glance through and see what they talk about. But this one right here done told me a whole daggone lot. It have told me a lot. Let's see. Marissa said, I have had a lot of dreams of aliens invading and still do. Wow. Wait a minute, yeah. Hold on. I gotta take this one off because it won't let me get it like that. Okay, let's see her.
% of Americans believe that the government is hiding information about UAPs and not being honest about what we know about them. And from my personal experience, I believe the same thing. Another poll found that nearly half Americans believe that the federal government is doing a very bad or somewhat bad job of dealing with reports of UFO sightings. as Representative Burchett just referenced on the FAA bill that just went through, you can tell that that's exactly happening. Considering the thousands of testimonies and videos taken on people's phones and eyewitnesses' accounts made by credible witnesses such as doctors, pilots, scientists, and active duty service members, it is unacceptable to continue to gaslight Americans into thinking that this is not happening or that the potential.
Y'all hear that? It is unacceptable to keep on gaslighting us to make us think that it's not true. It's unacceptable. That's what Miss Luna right here said, that they need to stop because it's unacceptable. Young said, Marissa exactly. Lincoln said, I don't want to live with no aliens. I have a hard time living with humans.
Potential of intelligent life forms exists other than humans. Even more alarming is the fact that these eyewitnesses are many times service members and have no assurance that their lives will not be negatively impacted or even harmed by their experiences. In being an active duty service member working on an airfield, I've had.
So who gonna harm them? Is they talking about the government? Because of the experience that they experienced with the aliens, they going to harm these people because of what they seen, because they don't want to come forth and say that, you know, this is what's going on in America.
Conversations with many pilots where they were in fear of coming forward for retribution and or being taken off flight status. How do we know this? Because the government has said nothing to assure us otherwise. They have also did nothing to calm the concerns of over 20% of Americans who have reported to have seen UFOs or UAPs. We are simply told not to question the government and that the government has it under control. Today is the first hearing of its kind where
they said don't question the government, baby. They don't look. I seen it. You see, hush. Do not question the government. When it comes to these UFOs, don't question them. Marissa said, Lincoln, I need to hit the blunt. Lincoln said, yeah, Marissa, please. And y'all over there puffing like I don't know what in this chat.
we will attempt to get down to the bottom of what is actually happening with UAPs. But we will hear from people who have had personal sightings rather than Pentagon bureaucrats who have always been sent to stonewall our investigations. Just so that the press knows and the people know, we were even denied access to a classified briefing in a SCIF prior to this hearing due to the amount of hoops that we had to jump through to grant temporary clearance to witness Grush, who has knowledge of classified information. It is time to have an open-minded discussion on this topic, to hear the evidence and understand the magnitude of what this means, not just for our nation, but for humanity. Thank you, Chairman. I yield back the rest of my time.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank you and Mr. Burchett for bringing this topic to my attention. Now we'll recognize National Security Subcommittee Ranking Member Garcia for 10 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank first our witnesses for joining us today. I want to begin by thanking you all for your service to our country and for sharing your voices today and your courage to be here as well. To Mr. Graves, particularly grateful to you to spend some time that we had for you to share with candor some of your experiences. Man. So I appreciate that as
Question. What if you were just days away from making your first dollar in a business of your own without
as well? I do want to thank all the members of our subcommittee today and also those that are here and have waved on for their incredible interest in this.
I'm going to yield back the rest of my time.
Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank you and Mr. Burchett for bringing this topic to my
attention.
Okay,
guys, News 8
now we'll recognize National Security Subcommittee Ranking Member Garcia for 10 minutes.
I'm scared. I might have to call Bay. And,
well, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I got to tell him to come home. I got to tell Bay to come home. Look, man, hush. I got rid of you. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay. Listen, y'all. The government, Marissa said, yes, her and Lincoln over there tearing it up. The government, listen, the government don't want us to know. But they had no other choice but to bring this out because of the whistleblowers. The whistleblowers are so tired. They sick and tired of losing their jobs when they report sightings of the UFOs. The people of America that's seeing these things, they are scared. They disappear. It's things happening. That man just sat there and told y'all that he's scared to report this stuff because they don't want to lose their jobs. Okay? The man that seen the alien aircraft, it moves within seconds. It moves within seconds, y'all. Within a second. It's just a second. And the only person that can help us is Jesus. Because that man just sit there and told us that he can't help us because he don't even know what to do with it himself. The thing moves within seconds. The only person that can help us is God. I don't care where you at in your life, what you doing. It doesn't matter. God said, come as you are. Come as you are. So many people being seeing these crafts and these big brings, they don't have no choice but to tell the truth. Exactly. And it's the army, it's the military, the ones that's seeing it also. And they try to report it, but things is getting missing. They losing their jobs. It's not acceptable to say aliens because they don't know how to control them. So that's the reason why they try to put a shit up under the mats. But if you don't have a relationship with God, get one. He said, come as you are, because tomorrow is not promised. Y'all just sit here and listen to the government, the government officials, the aircraft, the United States Marines, the Army, the military, the whatever. They said they basically can't do anything with the aliens, y'all. They can't. They cannot. The only thing that can help us is Jesus. It's Jesus. Picking up the phone, calling the military. I'm about to call the military. Don't even call them. You got to call on Jesus. The military is supposed to protect us, and they cannot. But the only person that can protect us is Jesus. How ironic that is, that is something in this world that controls that we can't even control as the American people, as the military. It's something in this world that's now that can't nobody control but God. He's the strongest thing. He said every knee shall bow. It's not an argument of the religion. I'm just telling you what the word speaks and what it say. So with that being said, do y'all got something to say? Because I'm scared. And if this video goes off of my channel, YouTube did it, and they don't want me to talk about it, but it's on the news. I'm going to drop the links if anybody wants to say anything about this, because I'm very concerned. This pushes me in my word, in my Bible, a little bit harder. It pushes me a little bit harder. It pushes me a little bit harder. See that? See that? What the enemy meant for our bad, God gonna turn it around for our good. Because honey, it's time to get in that word, and it's time to pray. Because these people just told us that they can't do nothing with it. They can't do nothing with it. Good morning, sister girl.
Good morning.
Talk to us, Lincoln.
I mean, like I said before, at one time I was real fascinated in UFOs and aliens and stuff like that, because I seen the that UFO before.
Mm-hmm.
So I would watch, like I said, I would watch everything on UFOs and sightings and stuff like that. And it's so many people that done told the government about these things. People have disappeared and came back and don't know where they went. They done had objects inserted in them, and like metal objects. Like they
Mm-hmm.
was taking them and it was putting these like a tracker.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one person said that they would come get him every 5 years.
Jeez.
Like they was studying the humans. So either we gonna have to live with these things because they coming out more. Back in the gap, you would hear about them every now and then, but they coming out more. So it's either something that they want, or we gonna have to live with them. Remember that show they had years back? They had one called The Visitors. They had that show came out where they came and they was trying to take over the United States, and
Yeah.
we had to fight them and stuff. Then they had the other show that came out. I can't remember what was the name of that show, but I think it was on Fox, and it was the cop working with the alien. The alien was a cop, and when they would drink milk, they would get drunk. That show showed how the aliens and the humans had to exist because their country was dying, so they came here.
Wow.
I can't remember what's the name of that show. I would watch it all the time. But
Melissa said Men in Black.
no, not that one. It was a TV show. It was a TV show, probably early 90s, late 80s, maybe early 90s. And the
I
guy was
probably
an
see.
officer. One guy was an officer, and the alien was his partner. They looked like us. It's just that their heads was different. Like they had a little design on their head, but they looked just like us.
I think I know what you're talking about. She said Mork and Mindy.
Not them. Not them. It was a show. Dang, I can't remember what's the name of it. But when they drink milk, milk gets them drunk. It was a good little TV. I think it would come on Fox. And it was about a cop. It was about there was some cops and stuff. But that's what happened with that storyline. The storyline was their country was dying and they came here. But they came here in peace. But when
Honey.
I honestly think that the aliens is not here to hurt us. And this is what I'm getting. I honestly think that there are, just like the government goes and explore the other planets, well, Mars, they're curious too. We all knew that there are other living beings on other planets.
Right.
We're not the only one that is, living his life. They may not look as like us, but I feel that they out there. And back when I was saying that I was having dreams since a kid, I would dream of the spaceships lining up together and start invading areas of where I used to live. So I'm like, why do I keep having these reoccurring dreams about aliens? So I do believe there is one, and my experience also down here. One time, I was driving my man to work, and of course it was still a little dark. And when we looked at the sky, I seen, you could pretty much tell what's a helicopter or what's a plane, because the plane usually has like a red light that flashes to let them know that they up there. This one was like just going slowly across, and then it disappeared. And me and my man was like, "What the fuck?"
That's
and
what
I
he just
looked at
said.
him, and was like, I said, "I do believe that was it." And then my son seen one. He came in scared. He was like, "Ma, I was in the car talking to my girl, and we're sitting there just looking, and then they saw a distinct light in the sky that was not a star, because it stood still and then it moved."
But that's what they just said, Marissa. You see how fast he said that thing went?
But I don't think they're here to hurt us. If anything,
I don't know
who they gonna invade is the government.
But one damn thing about it, if one come near me, I'm not gonna be like, okay, they not here to hurt me. I won't, but they move so fast, I ain't gonna be able to get away.
Girl, you gonna be down.
I'm gonna get on my knees. That's what I'm gonna do.
My daughter.
I feel at this point with all this that's going on and the sightings and stuff like that, we have to go back into the scriptures. I don't know where it's at, Sister Love, but I know God said He is our protector, right?
Yes, He is.
We should fear nothing but
He said,
Him.
no weapon.
We should fear nothing but Him. So we're just the chosen ones to witness this. We're covered. We're covered. Our assignment is to convince someone else to get their life right. And we're already doing it.
That's what I said. But at the same time, we still human. But
right.
we have to, that's why I said we have to go back to scripture. Because the scripture says no weapon. That includes UFOs, that includes everything. No weapon formed against us shall prosper. You know? And we just have to trust God, because that's what this process is.
Right. If anything, this is going to push us even more closer to the Lord.
That's what I just said.
We're going to be more adamant on this PPP movement. We're gonna save souls for the Lord, because I don't know where it says in the Bible, but these things was already told to us in the scriptures in so many words. You feel what I'm saying? Not the aliens, but when we start seeing signs, just know that the end is near, and it's not our time to get scared, even though we're still gonna get scared because it's the human nature of us. It's time for us to, not just us, but just everyone, to start being serious with our walk, and whatever changes that you need to apply in your life, it is imperative to start your process right now.
That's exactly what I said. Like, if you don't have a prayer life, it's time to get one, because that man sit there and said that they can't do nothing with it.
Nope. Not gonna be able to do a damn thing with them, because God probably made them more powerful than humans. We don't know what kind of superpowers they got. Maybe they coming to save our asses from this wicked world. But another thing I wanted to point out that explains these weird animals that they find it in the sea.
Right.
Do you think they plant that in the ocean?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know, everything's about weird animals. I'm starting to see weird bugs that I've never saw before.
I don't know.
Everybody just got to stay woke and continue. Yep, and continue doing what we're doing. And you know, they can't say that the word wasn't spoken, or they didn't hear about God, because He's using us as willing vessels to send that message out. The people think, oh, you have to have it all together to walk with God, when, like you said, God says, I take you as you is, a mess and all. I just need you to surrender. God, use me. Use me the way you need to use me. You feel what I'm saying? So, if anything with this thing, yes, I'm going to admit that I'm a little taken back and scared of what's to come, but is also keeping me grounded on what I'm doing with my walk and my purpose. That's it, and that's all. Because it's a scary situation out here.
It is.
They digging down, they digging down low, they going up high. So other things gonna come here and check out things over here too. But I feel that they are stronger than us. They doggone sure quicker than us.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, and another thing too, I believe like in the movies and stuff that they already done put out. Some people don't watch certain movies like the Transformers and stuff like that. I watch stuff like that. I watch stuff like that from when I was a little girl. It's only now they put it into movies. But the Transformers are aliens. And that's what they do. They can come down here in a second and they leave in a second. And they lived with humans. They've been with humans since slavery. They changed it. They got the car ones. They got some that look like animals, but these are robots. And they've been here forever, just like the humans. But some of them hide until they have to come out and stuff like that. But they can come down within a. They come down like with a, in a flash.
Yep. Sure does.
Go back up in a flash, like a beam of light. My daughter she texted me the other day after she left from here, and it was about an hour, and I told y'all that. But when we talked further about it, she said that it was 7 beams of light that they seen like in the air. And she said it stayed long enough for them to see it. And then all of a sudden it was gone. So when I went on Facebook, I seen other people had seen it too. Everybody was on there. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see those lights?
I
So
didn't.
I didn't see them neither. She texted me. I was kind of tired. I was like, oh yeah, whatever. But when I went on Facebook and I seen other people had seen, and it was like, did y'all see that? Did y'all see those lights in the sky? But they said it was like a lot of them in a line. She said it was in a line, and it stayed long enough for them to see that it was lights, and then all of a sudden they said it disappeared at the same time.
Jesus, be offense, Lord.
All I know is that now you got me more nervous. I done lit up another cigarette.
So what if that was all ships?
I don't think they gonna, these aliens, they call them aliens because they're not of this world.
Right.
I think they look like us, but like Ginger was saying, they're highly intelligent. Because we're intelligent. We're intelligent human beings. Well, some of us. So I do believe that they are equipped with something unique.
But Marissa, what would they do here with us?
Just like we do what the government
You think
does when they
they
go to the
just
moon.
okay?
They
Because
might take a body or two to experiment the anatomy of our body and how it works. They're just as
Go ahead,
curious as
y'all.
we are.
I'm listening, y'all. Go ahead. I'm gonna put y'all on
But
mute.
they
Ginger
know
got
all
me.
that, Marissa, because they've been taking people for years.
Yeah,
So
well,
they
I don't
know all
know.
that.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But it's definitely out there.
Yeah.
And as much as we are human and we are gonna get nervous, we have to continue to know who we are and who we belong to. So when the time does come, if it comes, um, we're human, so we're gonna have that feeling. But we're already covered. You feel what I'm saying? God got us covered. So if they gonna take us and kill us, this is a shell. They can have this shell. I don't want it no more. They can have the stomach and all. my soul is going to go with the Lord. So our
Right.
focus, to bring awareness, that's one. Um, like they said that they don't have no information about it, so it's no way of preparing. But
Right.
it is a way of preparing your salvation to get prepared. And what people need to understand is that God wants us to come just like we are, a mess. Okay? Because it's going to alert other people. If he can change us, make a beautiful art out of a mess, they're going to want to taste and see what God can do in their lives. You know what I'm saying? So I'm nervous. And we cannot let
And
this
powerful and
distract
challenging
us,
national.
but also at the same time allow us to prepare our salvation with God. Gain a personal relationship with him. However you want to gain a relationship with him. Meaning your own personal. It don't have to be like everybody else because he understands your language. You know what I'm saying?
So y'all,
So,
that's right. So
so
y'all listen. Go ahead.
go ahead, sis. I was finished.
No, what they doing? They are live now. They live. They back in there, y'all. Let's see what they saying.
Security. It silences commercial pilots who fear professional repercussions, discourages witnesses. It is only compounded by recent government claims questioning the credibility of eyewitness testimony. Parts of our government are aware of more about UAP than they let on, but excessive classification practices keep crucial information hidden. Since 2021, all UAP videos are classified as secret or above. This level of secrecy not only impedes our understanding, but fuels speculation and mistrust.
So they live now. Let me
When you sign up for Gusto, you get
they is
easy
back
payroll,
in there, y'all. So
affordable payroll.
you gotta know that this thing is for real.
Oceana in Virginia Beach. After upgrades were made to our jet's radar systems, we began detecting unknown objects operating in our airspace. At first, we assumed they were radar errors, but soon we began to correlate the radar tracks with multiple onboard sensors, including infrared systems, eventually through visual ID. During a training mission in Warning Area Whiskey 72 off the coast of Virginia Beach, two F-18 Super Hornets were split by a UAP. The object, described as a dark gray or a black cube inside of a clear sphere, came within 50 feet of the lead aircraft and was estimated to be 5 to 15 feet in diameter. The mission commander terminated the flight immediately and returned to base. Our squadron did a safety report, but there was no official acknowledgement of the incident and no further mechanism to report the sightings. Soon, these encounters became so frequent that aircrew would discuss the risk of UAP as part of their regular pre-flight briefs. Recognizing the need for action and answers, I founded Americans for Safe Aerospace. The organization has since become a haven for UAP witnesses who were previously unspoken due to the absence of a safe intake process. More than 30 witnesses have come forward, and almost 5,000 Americans have joined us in the fight for transparency at safeaerospace.org. The majority of witnesses are commercial pilots at major airlines. Often, they are veterans with decades of flying experience. Pilots are reporting UAP at altitude 30,000 feet, actually in gray zone, blue, making inexplicable like right-hand turns and retrograde orbits or J-hooks. Sometimes these reports are reoccurring, with numerous recent sightings north of Hawaii and in the North Atlantic. Other veterans are also coming forward to us regarding UAP encounters in our airspace and oceans. The most compelling involve observations of UAP by multiple witnesses and sensor systems. I believe these accounts are only scratching the surface, and more will share their experiences once it is safe to do so. In closing, I recognize the skepticism surrounding this topic. If everyone could see the sensor and video data I witnessed, our national conversation would change. I urge us to put aside stigma and address the security and state urgent national security problem. If it is something.
So y'all, Ginger, I'm pulling up your scriptures. I got you. I was reading. So Ginger, we protecting you. We know you in there by yourself. But we protecting you. We got you. Marissa says she's smoking cigarettes hard. That damn Lincoln says she crying. That damn what? No, Now I'm gonna be looking at people. Girl, Marissa.
Girl, I'm gonna be in Costco looking at them like, what are you feeding me? Because you know I go in there for the hors d'oeuvres and shit. So now I'm looking at them like they're alien.
But
you
y'all,
know,
this is live, Marissa.
well, it's about time that someone stepped out in faith and with their fear to inform us, because we already knew that the government was hiding a lot of shit.
No, Ginger, we not gonna be scared. Tell them, Marissa, we with it. I think we
I
the
ain't never
strongest
scared.
city.
They can come and get me. They
No,
can come and get me, because when I come back, I'm gonna become a little smarter than I am today. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding, but I'm serious. Like, like I was saying, yeah, it's gonna startle us because it's the human nature of us. But we have God we have Christ in
That's
our
why we
life.
not scared. Right.
So they could take this body, but with my spirit is gonna be with the Lord. They can have this shit. I don't want it either. Shit, I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I don't even want it. They can have the stomach and all. They're gonna come and get me first because I'm media.
That damn girl said they can have this shit.
They can have it. They want this body. They want to experiment. My soul is gonna be out of my body by then.
You better talk about it.
So they can have this body because this is only a shell. It's my spirit that I'm gonna protect.
Right.
So this is the reason why we all being attacked the way we are, because the plan is for us to be scared, but we never scared.
Yeah, we're not
We
scared.
warriors of the Lord.
That's it.
But I am scared. The cigarette is just, I'm scared. I'm ready to call my mother. And my fear is the mothers coming down here while I'm in North Carolina and I can't get access to my fucking family.
The more we talk, the more my daughter scratch.
Oh, Lincoln, why she scratching?
She's scared.
Put you some earplugs there. Don't scare that baby.
I don't have none.
Oh my God. Dang.
Holy snap.
And how about my mother and them just pulling up? She don't call me and tell me she on the way and nothing. She just pull up.
She's there. She probably sensed your spirit.
She outside. She outside. She outside. She ain't called my phone and that and now. But I don't know. My stepfather, I'm gonna see what he got to say about it, because he be knowing about all this stuff. She pulling in the driveway now. I know they said, Lord, what's she doing? I'm in here on live talking about damn aliens. Yeah, but they are live right now. Ginger said, I'll be okay. Marissa, go ahead and eat the Mars free tuna. Oh, God.
Eat the Mars free tuna. I sure am.
But listen, y'all, they are live now. I got to go out here and get my parents because they want to do what they want to do with me. You know how you grown and they still think that you the little girl.
Yeah, I have one of those.
Yeah, so I got right. I gotta do what they tell me to do, and I don't even know what that is right now. Look, that's her calling. That's Miosha. Hello. Your grandma done just pulled up. I gotta go outside. You looking for a check? No, I'm looking for my letter where I'm gonna report. Oh, for the child support. I mean, yeah, child support thing. Who did? Did he? Who is Trevor? Who is Travis? Your son. What do you call your son with the hot dog stand? Oh, shut up. You done got some flowers today. You better be cheating on that good piece of man you got. Hey, you done got tell him let me get that hot dog stand. Hey, listen, he came here trying to pull the handle to go in there and get some food. I said, well, you know that damn day is supposed to have. You wanted to see me, just say that. Just say it. And with some flowers. He was like, try to get something to eat. I was like, damn, bring it out to eat. I just ate. He came back with the same shit I just got. Bojangles and some flowers. Because I told him I never had gotten a flower, so I told him I gave him. Okay, I gotta go. Your grandma calling me. Bye. Hello? Huh? I'm in the house. I just seen y'all come. I'm on live. I'm about to cut the live off. I'm about to come out there. Huh? I know you did. I know you did. I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to bring it to you. I put it on my shoulder yesterday. I was like, I shouldn't get her this. I'm about to give it to you. I'm about to come. All right, bye. I'm coming. She gonna come over here because I had got her a pocketbook and she came all the way down here to get it.
Yeah.
Ginger
She
said,
want her stuff.
Yeah, she want her stuff. But y'all keep talking. She just want her pocketbook. I'll be right back. Because we killing time.
Soon and very soon, we are gonna see thy king. Oh, finally, they are revealing this. We already knew.
Yeah, had people thinking they was crazy.
Yeah, and what they do. The government is something else. The government is
Yeah.
something else, and um, I'm pretty sure there was plenty of other servicemen and or women that has brought this to their attention, and now they probably having a hard time, finding jobs or income and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or even disappearing.
These people done lost their jobs, and that's what I
But
feel bad about, that instead of them just owning up to the truth, they find people.
right,
People need their job. Those men have families. That one with that silver hair, that man was doggone. That man was shaking.
yeah, because listen, it's a scary situation with the alien itself, but the fact that the outcome of them testifying and bringing this to our attention, what is the aftermath? What is the government going to do? What are they going to do to them?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that it took these men courage to come out here and warn us that they are, but we already knew they was here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And every day we walk, it is, listen, it is fucking scary. It's scary just with human beings.
But you know what? It's a lot of things that's falling out of the sky lately. You seen the story where the lady was cutting her grass and a snake fell out the sky and
Uh-uh.
it wrapped around her arm?
Uh-uh.
Okay, well, this lady was mowing her grass on the riding lawnmower, and she said, she felt something around her arm. She looked, it's a snake. So she
Wow.
said she started swinging her arm, to try to swing it off of her. As she doing that, a hawk came down after the snake.
Wow.
It was the hawk's lunch. So the snake striking her and the hawk trying to get the snake. Girl, that lady arm so messed up. I thought she would have lost her arm.
Mm-mm-mm.
So now
Mm-mm-mm.
people walking down the street looking in the sky, see something gonna fall out.
Well, I've been seeing some weird things happen. Um, like I said, I'm a nature girl. I look at nature. These different kind of flying objects, birds, that I'm seeing. Maybe it's because I'm in the South and it's more prone to be in the South. But even with the bugs are coming
Yeah.
with we had seen a bug when we first got here. I promise you the shell was um like a shiny, colorful shell. It had pink and blue and some other colors, and we was like, what the heck is that? Like, we never seen no bug like that. And also, like I say, I'm a nature girl. I watch the Discovery Channel and stuff like that. These animals that they can't identify, um, identify or put a name to it. Like, are they dropping, or are dropping something in the water to make these animals. And then another thing with that submarine with that vanished, and they only saw parts of the ship. Where's the rest of the fucking ship? How did it disappear? I'm starting to think now that the aliens was involved with that. No sighting whatsoever. So it's just been a lot of strange things happening on this earth, that finally somebody had just have courage to say, you know what? They're already messing with me. I'm just gonna blow the whistle. Because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, they already done retaliating against him, and now he's at the White House. Who knows what they gonna do to him?
Yeah, well, if something happens to these guys, these whistleblowers, then we'll know for sure that it's the government. Because I honestly think, and this is my opinion, that these aliens is not here to hurt us, but it's a clear indication of what God has been telling us in the Bible. These are the things that we have to be watchful for. You know what I'm saying? These are signs of the end times. So there's going to be many things that's going to surface that we don't have answers for. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't think they're here to hurt us. I really don't think that. I feel that in my spirit. I just think they're just as curious as we are, wondering what we about. What is this planet about? Just like we inquiring about Mars. There are other living beings.
Yeah.
How many planets are there?
Well,
So
they
you
done
mean to
found
tell me we're the only living being?
they done
Absolutely,
found
I don't
other
believe that.
planets out there.
There's what? How many? 8 planets? 12, 8, something like that. They're signs of other people. It's just probably they just look different. Maybe they're just look just like us, but just their IQ is more advanced. You know what I'm saying? So, like Sister Love was saying, as much as people don't want to hear about God and stuff like that, and try to put a label on how you should be when you come to God, this is a clear indication that you don't wait until you have it all together.
Right.
Come exactly how you are and let him fix you. Let him mold you how he meant to mold you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just continue, because day by day we sin daily and it dies daily. Because this is life lessons. I'm not going to let it discourage my walk. I don't care how many people say X, Y, and Z. The more I see stuff like this, it'll make me stronger in him.
Right. And it is what it is.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
it's already written.
Right. Because I heard that they have this African tribe that predict the aliens and stuff. So
Ginger said, remember the devil is um is a prince of the world. Yep, he is the prince of the world. But he's not he's gonna be defeated. But he's already defeated. God has exalted, and he's using us, Sister Lake, and to inform people that you can go to him and get a relationship like us. You know what I'm saying? And start our process, because again, tomorrow's not it's not a promise. So I was right, Ginger. She said it's 8 planets. So I did get that right. It's 8 planets. He created the heavens and the earth and all these planets and all the stars and the asteroids, everything that is created. Our God has created that. So he knows everything. He just wants us to it's sort of like an alarm. Like to check us when we slip in. You know what I'm saying? It show us this, it draws us closer to him. In my opinion. Because I know it is for me. And just to enjoy life.
Yeah.
We already know it's out there.
It has everything that he created on this earth has a purpose. Those 8 planets, they there for a reason. The sun and the moon, they there for a reason.
It all serves its purpose.
Right.
Just like the animals that we have on Earth, they all serve a purpose. Even the bugs, they all serve a purpose. The bugs is for the trees. You know what I'm saying? So, and us, we serve a purpose of getting the word out. Like, look, I was this way.
Yeah.
This is in what condition I was in. But the minute I surrendered and told God to use me for his glory is when I started to see positive changes. It was all from that submission of saying, God, use me. Use my mouthpiece. Use me to reach out people like me that are feeling that they're not worthy to praise you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
People try to discourage you because we still living in this world.
Yeah.
We are going to be sinners until we are conformed into our new
still
body.
up here y'all
What you
still
said? We having a Jesus moment, sis.
Oh, praise the Lord, honey. Ginger said, great laugh. Remember the devil and prince of the world. Ginger said, exactly. Yes.
Now I'm gonna go to
honey.
I'm gonna go to Costco's and eat all their snacks.
Marissa calming me down and know she's scared too.
That's what we that's what we're supposed to do.
Hey, so y'all, let me tell y'all this.
Sister Love is laughing because I do that with her too.
So listen, y'all, I come in the house because I'm outside talking to my mother now because she don't be coming in that much because of her oxygen. And I came in here and I see Bay, he pulled up, he came in the house. So I'm trying to figure out where Bay at. I'm thinking that aliens done took him. Y'all, so while he was sitting at the computer listening to y'all, he was sitting at the computer. I don't know what y'all was talking about, but he was sitting in my chair just listening on mute.
Yeah, the brother Bay is equipped with the word too. So he understands what we're talking about. People think, because we're still like I ain't going. I'm not here to front for no one. I'm overly honest about Maritza. I'm not going to sit here and portray that I don't do things that are not pleasing to God, but he's delivering me little by little by the way I think, the way I walk, the way I talk. Do I fall short? Absolutely. But you know what? The difference from back then to now is that I don't stay down. I get back up and I keep trying to get it right until I get it right.
Exactly.
So Brother Bay, he's the co-founder of Let's Talk with Love, and he is the co-pastor. So he should have said something.
No, he was just sitting here listening. But listen, y'all, let me tell y'all this real quick. I have another story for y'all. Baby finding me stories and stuff. But y'all, this story is crazy. You hear me? It's really crazy. It's about what we talking about now, kind of, sorta. But I'm gonna bring it back tonight. I'm gonna come back tonight with it. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned tonight. What is the name of the story that I'm doing tonight? It's 2 parts to it. I know that. The man, he's supposed to come back from the future, y'all. He's supposed to be the future. And they interviewed this man and they did x-rays on this man. He have a chip in his hand, y'all. I'm telling y'all. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for that right there.
It's the mark of the beast.
We get ready to see. They did x-rays and they seen the chip in his hand. And he's saying that he's the future. He got a lot of information too. I'm not saying that it's true, but we still got to keep our options open, our mind open, because when we was thinking that the UFO years ago was fake, we found out today that it was absolutely real.
Right.
So we can't put nothing past, but they are still live. Marissa, I'm gonna go ahead and go off, y'all, because Marissa, you can ready to come on in a few.
Yes, I have to prepare myself mentally now because I've got aliens in my head. So today, please, I think it's 2:45 or 2:40 I post that I'm coming on. It's about empty nesting. So empty nest syndrome. So I got some information that I'd looked up, and maybe we could collab and share our experience if we had any, or give out information to people that still have young kids still growing. So I'm gonna tap on down. I love y'all. Love you with the love of God. Please don't be scared. Just know God loves you and you are covered. I'm out. Bye, Lakin. See you later.
Bye.
All right, Lincoln. Don't be out here scared. Okay, boo. Don't be out here
All
scared,
right.
girl. We good. But I will
All
see y'all tonight. I'm coming on tonight. I'm gonna come on at 8:00 to break this story. Lincoln, I know you wants to be in the building about this because this man is really talking some stuff. And I didn't get to listen to all of it because I like to listen with y'all. So I don't know. I just listened to a little bit. But Bae said it was trending now, so we're gonna watch it tonight at 8:00.
So this is a person?
A real person, Lincoln.
Ooh.
So we're gonna sit down and listen to what he got to say at 8:00. But I was sitting over at Marissa's. Ginger, you is a soldier. You held it down over there by yourself. Everybody then got scared and left. You still hold it down, baby. And I will see you at Marissa's if y'all be there at 2:40. I think it's 2:40. Empty nesting is the topic for the Positive People podcast. Okay, I see y'all later. Thank y'all for holding on while my mama was outside. I appreciate y'all. See y'all later. And if y'all want to watch the live broadcast, it's still up. They still live. News 18 about the aliens. Have a blessed day.